The ninth order of the day is a motion on economic implications of the production and adoption of electric vehicles in Nigeria. Standing in the name of Honorable Ossy Prestige, Hon Prestige is invited to move the motion.
I am Honorable Prestige Ossy, member representing the people of Aba North, Abasa Federal Constituency. I'm from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, the economic implication of the production and adoption of electric vehicles on Nigeria. The House notes with dismay the bleak future for Nigeria's oil exports, as its biggest crude oil buyers and other major Asian and European customers are poised to do away with petrol and diesel-powered vehicles from the year 2025. Informed that India, China, France, Netherlands, and United Kingdom that bought a total of about 24.4 million barrels of crude oil from Nigeria in May 2019, almost half of the nation's total exports for the month are now pushing ahead with plans to stop the use of oil-powered vehicles as part of efforts to reduce pollution and carbon emission, a development that could spell trouble for Nigeria's oil exports in the coming decades. Also informed that the UK followed France in announcing the new diesel and petrol cars will be banned by the year 2040 in a bid to encourage people to switch to electric and hybrid vehicles. Netherlands as well has mooted a 2025 ban for diesel and petrol cars. Germany, too, another major buyer of Nigeria's crude oil in Europe, aims to have 1 million electric cars on the road by the year 2020, while India, the biggest importer of Nigeria's crude, is considering even more radical actions with plans to support electrifying all vehicles in the country by the year 2030, while China equally has announced that it was looking to ban the production and sales of diesel and petrol cars and vans as well. Aware that if more countries follow the same path, the development could translate to a drastic reduction in the demand for crude oil globally, and developing countries such as Nigeria, with excessive dependence on crude oil revenues, will experience serious and prolonged economic shocks from gradual moderation and reduction in crude oil demand. Worried by the recent Bloomberg New Energy Finance report, which forecast that electric-powered vehicles will be cheaper to buy than their internal combustion engine counterparts by the year 2025, and also predicts that by the year 2040, there will be 530 million vehicles worldwide, comprising about one-third of the fleet, which will displace roughly 8 million barrels of oil production per day. Concerned that Nigeria is not prepared for the shift politically, socially, and economically, since the country failed to internally build capacity and capacities to enjoy the benefits of its natural endowments, and equally refused to broaden the opportunities and ancillary services that are associated with crude oil and natural gas. Believes that as government income dwindles due to this development, Nigeria will be forced to implement structural reforms and stop paying lip services to the diversification of our economy, as well as look more inwards into utilization of crude oil as raw materials for the manufacturing of other products. Aware that Netherlands is currently seeking collaboration with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, towards utilizing petroleum products for the manufacturing of animal feeds, and more innovations are coming up towards utilizing crude oil as raw material for the production of other products. Confident that Nigeria could still explore the vast opportunities that exist in the domestic market and the African sub-region if the government implements structural reforms and develop the capacity to efficiently refine Nigeria's crude oil to supply the entire West Africa and the Gulf region. Cognizant that oil and gas businesses is dynamic, and more customers and usefulness dwindles from a particular region, other developing countries will also be demanding for products and equally looking for other possibilities of utilizing crude oil as raw materials for production of other goods. The House resolves to urge the federal government to critically evaluate the implication of the reduction of the reduced demand for crude oils in the light of emerging trends of preference for electric vehicles by her major oil buyers. Further urge the federal government to, without delay, commence genuine and far-reaching diversification and structural reforms of the economy from overdependence on oil revenue. Again, urge the federal government to commence research on developing alternative uses of crude oil as raw materials for the production of other goods. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, the issue is something that needs urgent attention. Presently, if you travel overseas, you will see that almost all the cars are turning to be electric cars. Earlier, before now, you see when they started manufacturing of these electric cars, you pay before you plug your vehicle to charge. But in the last 1 year, they have now created a lot of parks. Almost all the parks you go to in the Western world, you will see places where you can plug your electric vehicles and charge it for free, so you don't pay again, which means they're encouraging that you buy electric cars. And I've also manufactured another one now, where you can use electric to a certain point and use a little petrol, which indicates that the request for crude oil is drastically going down. And to worsen matters now, the almighty coronavirus has also added, to this very pathetic plight that Nigeria will find herself. You remember that the oil benchmark during the budget in December was 57 naira per barrel. As we speak today, coronavirus alone and the forces around it has forced the oil to come down to $30, $31, $32 per barrel. So if this manufacture of these electric cars continues, that means that Corona and electric car will force Nigerian oil to be below $10 per barrel. And you know what that means to Nigerian economy? Oil being the only one, let me say 90% of the revenue of this country is derived from oil. So I think that Nigerians should stop paying lip services to diversification of our economy and concentrate more on finding areas where we can diversify economy. We have the agri sector, we have the solid minerals, to make sure that we get foreign exchange, not only depending on crude oil. Mr. Speaker, I think that if the government takes this serious, it's going to take us out of the wood and make us a country that is not dependent on oil sales before we could plan our budget. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity.
Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it.